Hold on now. Tell you something, and you better listen like your electricity bill just came due. Look at me. We got ourselves a situation so wild, so sticky, so downright ain't this something that if it were family drama at Thanksgiving it'd be the cousin nobody talks about but everybody knows is trouble. Steve Harvey, silent stare, eyes wide, adjusting suit jacket like really. You gon' do me like that. You see this headline floatin' around. India overtakes the USA. The world is shocked by this sudden move. And you think it's some clickbait joke? You gotta be kidding me. No, this is real life, real politics, real economics, and it ain't cute. Now I want you to feel this. Picture your neighbor, yeah, that guy who always borrows your lawnmower and never brings it back suddenly starts build in a whole landscaping business on your lawn, charging everybody in the cul-de-sac more money and telling them they don't need your help no more. That's what's happening on the global stage. India came out of nowhere boom. And now folks all over the world be looking at the United States like we gave up the remote and walked off the set. Steve Harvey, silent stare, mouth slightly open like say what now? Now. Don't get it twisted. This ain't drama for drama's sake. This is about power, money, jobs, strategy, and who's hold in the cards when the music stops. And right now, the music is bumpin' loud enough that even your grandma's hearing aid is tapping its foot. So grab your coffee, your strong coffee, sit up in your chair and listen good. Because what we talking about today is personal. It's national. It's international. And if you think it don't affect you, then sweetheart, you're about to wake up on the wrong side of the global economy. Steve Harvey hand gesture like look at that. You ever have that one friend who promised to help you move, then shows up with one pizza box and a diet soda? That's what the rest of the world is looking at right now. They thought America was coming through, bossing up global trade, keeping everybody in balance, and all of a sudden, India is pulling ahead like they found the cheat code. But here's where it gets juicy, and I need you to really hear this. This ain't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about tariffs, high, sticky, 50% tariffs slapped on Indian goods by the United States. 50%. That's not a tax, that's a tax on steroids. You buy groceries, no, we tax it. You buy clothes, no, we tax it. You Trina compete, no, we double tax it. Now India, they didn't just fold up like an old lawn chair. Oh no, they hit back. You see, when somebody comes at you with a stick, you don't just hold out your hand, you dodge, and then you respond. That's exactly what India did. They started a reciprocal trade war that's got economists scratching their heads and politicians talking like it's a football game on Sunday night. Steve Harvey slow nod like, I see what you did there. But let's not get it twisted. This isn't some backyard barbecue beef. This is serious. Right now as we speakin', India is mackin' moves in the global chessboard that look a whole lot like what I'm gonna call the Chinese checkers strategy. They playin' their pieces with China and Russia, and I ain't talkin' about a friendly game of marbles. Steve Harvey adjusts tie serious mood, look at it like a church potluck. Everybody brings something, everybody shares something, but then one family rolls in with their own casserole dish, sets it in the center, and suddenly everybody's asking for their recipe. That's India with China and Russia right now building energy deals, trade agreements, defense conversations like it's Sunday lunch and everybody invited. Now, I know what you're thinking. Steve, this sound like a geopolitical love triangle. And you know what? It is, but it ain't no gossip. This is strategy, big strategy, country-wide 1,000-mile strategy, And that brings me to something hitting close to home for millions of hardworking people. H-1B visa fees rocketed to $100,000. You heard me right. Steve Harvey eyes widen silent stare like say that again. You trying to come to the United States to work, to hustle, to make something of yourself. You better have a wallet deeper than a politician's promise. This fee hike is kicking over international talent like yesterday's trash in India with its massive pool of tech workers. They ain't just watch. In this play out they are feel in it. So now you got trade tension. You got talent tension. You got global alliances shifting like sand in a storm. And in the middle of all that, guess who's trying to step in as peacemaker in the India-Pakistan ceasefire front? Donald Trump. Yes, that Donald Trump. Steve Harvey head tilt like weight. Now that's enough to make your head spin faster than a kid on a merry-go round, and that, my friends, is just the beginning. I'm not even close to finished, but you got. I'll let this sink in before we go deeper. Steve Harvey slow exhale serious and hype energy because what we about to talk about next ain't just facts, it's strategy. It's consequence. And it's gonna affect the way you think about jobs, borders, power, and your place in the world economy. So stay right here, don't go nowhere because we're just getting started. Hold tight, look at me, we gone slow. Walk this thing because if you don't understand the why, you gone miss the whole lesson. And I don't want nobody leave in this conversation saying, Steve, I heard you, but I didn't hear you. Steve Harvey straightens suit, takes 2 steps, pauses that long, uncomfortable stare like somebody just said something foolish on Family Feud. Now let's talk about why all this popped off, because nations don't just wake up one morning and say, you know what, let's flip the global table. Today, nah, this is years in the making, baby. First thing, those 50% U.S. tariffs on Indian goods, that ain't a slap, that's a two-handed shove. The U.S. government said if you sell steel, pharmaceuticals, textiles, auto parts, or tech services into our market, you gon' pay. The logic from Washington was simple. Protect domestic manufacturing, pressure India to open its markets wider, and force what they called fair trade. Steve Harvey squints like fair to who? See, trade wars are like family reunions. Somebody always say, we just want peace. Then 5 minutes later, Auntie bring up that old argument from 2009, and now potato salad is flying across the room. That's tariffs. India said, oh, you want reciprocal. Cool. And they matched those tariffs sector for sector. American agricultural exports, hit, tech services, scrutinized, energy equipment, slowed down in customs like somebody forgot the paperwork on purpose. And here's the cold truth. Neither side blinked, because both sides thought the other needed them more. Steve Harvey nods slowly, aha. Pride. Now here's where India got real strategic, and I need you to lean in for this one. While the U.S. was flexing tariffs, India quietly said, we don't have to put all our eggs in one basket. So they started pivoting harder toward China and Russia, not emotionally, not ideologically, economically. This is that Chinese checkers move. You jump pieces. You don't play straight lines. India locked in long. Term energy deals with Russia oil and gas at discounted rates, paid for in alternative currencies. That means fewer dollars, less exposure to U.S. financial pressure. That ain't rebellion, that's risk management. Steve Harvey points like, see, that's smart. At the same time, India deepened manufacturing and infrastructure cooperation with China, even while keeping political distance. They don't trust China, don't get it twisted, but they understand leverage. When you and your neighbor don't get along, but both of y'all got chainsaws and a fallen tree, guess what you work together for now? Now add this ingredient to the pot. GM crop disputes, the U.S. has been pushing hard for India to open its agricultural markets to genetically modified crops. India said, hold on now. Why? Because India's got hundreds of millions of small farmers. One wrong move, and you don't just get protests, you get political earthquakes. Steve Harvey's silent stare like that ain't worth it. So India said no, the U.S. said that's protectionism. India said that's survival, and boom, more friction. Now, let's talk about the part that hit people right in the paycheck. H-1B visa fees jumping to $100,000. Let me say this slow. That fee don't hit billionaires. It hits companies, and when companies pay more, they hire less. Indian engineers, coders, doctors, researchers suddenly became too expensive. That talent didn't disappear, it stayed home or went elsewhere. Come here. Come real close. Look at me when I say this. Steve Harvey steps forward, straightens jacket. That serious stare like somebody just gave the number. One answer but didn't know why. This part right here, this is where it land on you, not presidents. Not prime ministers. You. Because the question ain't just did India overtake the USA in some areas. The real question is, what happens next, and who pays the price if folks don't wake up? See, when countries start play in hardball like this, tariffs high, alliances shiftin', visas cost, in more than a house, the first people to feel it ain't politicians. It's workers, it's students, it's small businesses. It's families. You ever notice when groceries go up, ain't nobody on TV apologizing. They just tell you to adjust. That's what global shifts feel like, slow at first, then all at once. Steve Harvey nods mm. Here's what's next if this path keeps going. India keeps doubling down on self-reliance, manufacturing at home, talent at home, defense at home. That means fewer American companies automatically get first dibs. Competition gets tighter. Margins get thinner. China and Russia, they don't suddenly become best friends with India, but they become necessary partners. And when three big players learn how to work around the dollar don't disappear. But it don't bully nobody either. That's a shift, a big one, the U.S. Still powerful, don't you get that twisted, but power ain't just muscle anymore. It's consistency, it's trust, it's follow through. Steve Harvey gives that you-know-better stare. When trade policy changes every election cycle, when visas swing like a pendulum, when allies don't know if today's promise is tomorrow's tweet, people plan around you instead of with you. And here's the part I really want young people to hear, especially if your watch in this thinking politics don't matter. The future jobs, the future tech, the future influence, they go where talent is welcomed and stability is predictable. Period. You shut the door too hard, somebody else opens a window. Steve Harvey snaps fingers just like that. Now don't mistake this for doom. This ain't fear, this is awareness, because moments like this, they are wake-up calls. India didn't win because America lost. India moved because it had to. America still has every tool to lead, but leadership ain't loud. It's steady. So what does this mean for the average person? It means learn skills that travel. It means understand the world don't stop at your border. It means pay attention when trade, education, and immigration policies change because they shape your options long before you ever see the headline. And if you're in a position of power government, business, media, it means check your ego at the door. Because the world right now, it ain't impressed by titles. It's impressed by results. Steve Harvey pauses long, lets it sit. Let me leave you with this, and this is straight Steve Harvey motivation. No jokes, no gimmicks. Every season changes. Every leader rotates. Every advantage expires if you don't protect it. The countries that thrive ain't the loudest, they the ones that listen, adapt, and keep moving even when pride tells them to stand still. So don't panic, don't cheer blindly, don't ignore it either. Pay attention, learn the game, and make sure you're positioned not emotional when the next move comes. Steve Harvey smiles slightly, that calm confidence. Because in life and in global politics, you don't gotta win every round. You just got a still be standin' when the dust settle. Hold on now, look at me. When you say next, you want me to extend the script with a part 4 stronger outro, sharper warning, viral mic, drop, or refine part 3 to be even more motivational/punchy, or write the YouTube intro plus pinned comment plus description in the same Steve Harvey voice, or start a new video following this one episode. Angle. Tell me which lane you want, and I'll take it all the way down the field.